right, so I'm currently on the phone with Dennis. He's another musician that reached out about the current interview session. So I'm going to go ahead and give him the chance to introduce himself.
Hi, my name is Dennis Christian. I'm a musician, composer, and I used to make arrangement for bands and singers. And I used to play with a lot of musicians in LA, San Diego, jazz bands, and some samba groups as well, because I'm from Brazil, and I used to play with some Brazilian groups here in LA and San Diego and San Francisco.
Awesome, very cool. So tell me about when you kind of first got into music and first started exploring, what it was like to participate in music. Like, how old were you, and how did it all start for you?
I am 56. I started with when I was 9 years old. I started studying piano, and I figured out the guitar when I was 11, and I really fall in love about the guitar. And when I was 17, I started in a little orchestra in São Paulo, and I I I knew a very amazing conductor, and he helped me a lot. He gave me a lot of books from Ennio Morricone and another composers by Hollywood. And I started to study alone by myself uh, about some orchestrations. And after my daughter has born, I started really studying orchestra, and I started to work inside a philharmonic in São Paulo, like an assistant, third assistant. And after year by year, I started to learn more and learn about the other instruments, and I studied each instrument in an orchestra to understand the mechanic, the language about each instrument to write to them.
So do you feel like starting with guitar and then moving into orchestration kind of defined the way that you were going to approach music, or was kind of the goal always to play guitar and then orchestration happen on the side? What was like the direction? Why do you think it went that way?
Oh, it's a hard way because the guitar, you can see the harmony, you can see the music structure, but you can't see about the other instruments, because the keys, because the harmonic series. When you write to violins and or to string sessions, you must understand their sound mechanic, because you can get some notes that you don't want when you write in wrong positions. Not wrong, but depends on a melody that you are doing over some harmony. You can make some harmonics, and the result is not what you really want. And this is years to understand, and you need to learn a little bit the instrument to understand that some positions come their harmonics together, and you must understand the way to write to them to everything is gone okay.
So tell me about like the next steps there. Obviously, you got into orchestration. How did that translate back into kind of more like a contemporary band lineup, or is that even kind of the direction you took? What were your next steps after participating in the orchestration part?
There are two ways, because to make orchestration, it's important to understand the music history, and understand the composers' styles as well. Without this, you are empty to really work with them. It's such important you understand since the beginning the first composers and the ways and styles, because they show to us the feelings from the notes, from the combinations, and a lot of things came from them. And this is such important. You understand that Beethoven, Mozart, and everyone that you can listen, and you can study their structure, compositions. And sorry, my English sometimes my
No,
English
that's
is not so.
fine. So the next question is essentially, with that knowledge, what was your application of it? Did you get into a band? Did you start working with other musicians, or did you kind of start writing your own material? Like, how did you apply that knowledge?
Um, I I'm coming using the technology like 25 years. I started with a Turtle Beach uh, with a Cakewalk 3.1. And in the time that we were recording with two, I don't know in English, the polegadas, 2 inches is the tape.
Sure. Oh,
The
sure. Yep.
And we started in 93, 94 to use SMPTE, and we use the last channel from the tape. That and that time we used to 24 channels to record, and you take it off the last one to use the SMPTE to make the computer slave from the machine, and 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 we started to use some audios, and this time I started to use some keyboards to make the orchestrations for some band, using the computer together the analogic system. And I I I have been walking with this from '94 till now. Now I starting to use the artificial intelligence to, to understand. But I use Fruit Loops. I used West Symphony, and the last 20 years I tried everything that came from the orchestra and from the synthesizers. I tried to learn a little bit from everything, because you must be on the wave to especially.
Okay, so tell me about kind of what you're up to now. What projects you involved in? Instruments are you playing? Tell me what your current projects are.
um, Now I just finished the album from a guy called Tulio Hopper, and is a pop rock uh, style, but with R&B flavor as well, because he had like a true soul music, and we mixed with some Brazilian flavors as well. And I used a sonar to make the MIDI's uh, channels, and Pro Tools to finish. I Now I am used to record some chorals and to directing guys in Brazil. the Sonobus program. It's amazing program. The latency is such a small, and to record like a choral in I used to make some arrangements and or some directing in some recording in Brazil and on other countries, and this program called Sonobus is such amazing to do it, and I can record in my home. They are in a studio there in Brazil, and I can listen in my studio with the same quality that they are listening there.
So it sounds like you're involved in a bunch of like music production. Do you have any projects that you play in, or are you just doing production for like other projects?
Sometimes I play. I used to play in all production, but like in Tulio Hopper, there are a lot of rock and roll guitars, and I I I invited two guitars, or one American guitar and one Brazilian guitar, and we recorded here and there with Andy Sanizi. Andy is Alanis Morissette drummer, uh, and a lot of amazing guys in Brazil, in LA. And I am recording now Sonia Santos. Uh, Sonia Santos is like our diva. She's making uh, uh, her 80 years old album. She's in the United States like 42 years, and she has a lot of amazing video clips in Brazil with a lot of famous guys from here in Brazil. Is amazing singer, and she represent the black people in Brazil, their fight, uh, their conception about our society. She helped a lot to building this in '70s, and we are making now a big album to her with a lot of participations, a lot of guests from here in Japan, in Europe, in Brazil as well.
So, well, where can people find the stuff that you worked on? I assume some of that stuff has been put out there online for people to listen to.
Oh yeah, I have a music1 .com bar Dennis Christian, and reverbnation.com bar Dennis Christian, and have my in my Instagram. Dennis Christian is DENYS, and Christian is without H. And you can listen some jazz videos and some Brazilian songs, and I play with some Mexican people and some Cuban people. Um, I used to play in a month like a 6 or 7 bands, different bands. And now I have a residency until September, and Queen Mary Chip in Long Beach. I have a jazz trio there with Michael Cinso and Gabriel Slam.
Awesome. So, I always like to give the person that I'm interviewing the opportunity to put out a message. So, what's a good message that you have for like your fellow musicians?
First, fall in love for you decide to make in your life, and after get the time to study and get a time for yourself as well, because nothing is good if it's too much. So study is very nice, but not too much. Uh, Take a time for you as well, but is and try to listen everything in the world our cultures, to understand the cultures in the world. This is important to music and to the life, to take the life with passion.